Welcome, I'm Cassandra, and this is your general and love forecast for This is for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this. Okay, first and foremost, while I was shuffling, I was getting ready to lay the cards out. I was literally on my last shuffle. This card fell out. So I put it back in. Normally, I always pay attention to a card that falls out. But I decided to put it back in. And I looked at it like, if it's meant to be, it'll come back out. So I did last shuffle. Boom, it fell out again. So, this card is definitely relevant to Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. So, the Moon card, typically this is about our emotions can be exaggerated under this type of influence. Just like as we're having a full moon, we tend to have, let's say, more domestic issues. The moon exaggerates our feelings. So we could have had some issues where maybe we might have made a mountain out of a molehill. Now, for a lot of you, this would definitely be saying you need to pay attention to your dreams or any type of hunches, intuitions, gut feelings, things like that. Do not ignore your intuition right now, okay? Because your intuition will be very valuable and very helpful right now. Now, another aspect of this card is a lot of times this card will pop out when you feel that something big, like a big change is coming. This card will come out to verify absolutely there is a big change, a major change approaching. Now also, this card can be indicating deception, so this will resonate with some of you. The deception could be you are lied to, perhaps betrayed by someone else. Or for some of you, this could perhaps be maybe you that tells the lie, but I'm feeling that for a lot of you, this is going to be more on the receiving end of someone's lies. And they will get exposed. Okay, so for our first card, this is Libra Sun, Libra Moon, and Libra Risings. We have the Devil card to start. So this tells me that we're definitely dealing with some obsessions, some fears, maybe even an addiction, or, a toxic karmic relationship. This relationship could be one that is romantic or platonic. So it definitely seems like there's some things going on here. And, this can be Capricorn. And we do have Pluto in Capricorn along with Saturn right now. Oof. So we could be definitely dealing with issues that are fear-based. We could be having some obsessions come up for us under this type of energy. Addictions, addictions, obsessions, those can go hand in hand. Sometimes we can be addicted to a particular person, maybe even a little obsessed. Sometimes we can be addicted to relationships. Sometimes we're addicted to tarot readings. You never know. So there is addictions, obsessions, fears, and karmic toxic relationships that are definitely at the forefront. Now it is clarified by the priestess. So, again, like I just stated, we need to pay attention to the intuition right now because it will not lead you wrong. The priestess is all about us being in touch with our intuition, listening to that inner voice, listening to our gut feeling. So if you have a particular intuition, gut feeling about someone in your life, or about a particular situation that's occurring in your life, don't ignore that intuition, because it is absolutely on point right now, okay? So do not ignore the intuition. And typically when we see the priestess, there's always those situations that can be a bit mysterious. Kind of like, we need to look a little deeper, but thankfully it's in the upright position. So this definitely indicates that you guys are listening to your intuition, that inner voice, that gut feeling. So definitely listen, don't ignore it, okay? Okay, so this would be the circumstances. So we have the Nine of Swords in the reverse position. So this definitely indicates that you guys have been through a loss of some sort, and you are now healing from this loss. Now, sometimes this can simply be indicating that you might have gone through a situation that caused you much grief, anxiety, maybe even some depression. A lot of times with this card, there is a possibility of one having nightmares. Perhaps there could be some sleepless nights occurring, especially when we have the moon. Some of you could be experiencing some sleepless nights. Now, we are healing from this. Now, this situation could have been one that was a relationship. Again, it could be romantic or platonic, but in a romantic relationship, sometimes this can indicate that there was a situation in which there was infidelity, unfaithfulness, cheating. Or this could simply be indicating that, a situation comes to an end, ties are severed with something, someone, or certain situation. And this is a loss for us. But we are healing, okay? We are healing. Okay, so it's clarified by the Faith card, which is also known as the Hierophant. And this is a card of, traditional, orthodox. But this is also a card of conforming. So falling into line. Sometimes we will conform, fall into line with other people just to sometimes keep the peace. So sometimes we'll just go along with what everybody else is doing in order to keep the peace, rather than bucking the system, so to speak. So for some of you, this could have been a marriage that came to an end, or a long-term type of relationship. Yeah. For some of you, this could have been a loss that occurred through maybe a school education sort of loss for some of you. Okay, I gotta say it because, it'll resonate with somebody. Okay, so this will be the focus position. So we have the Six of Swords. So this is a card of we are moving away from a loss, and we're moving towards finding peace. We want to find that peace which is on the other side of the shore. And we are definitely setting off, because we are like, I am so ready for some peace. I'm ready to get away from these situations. They've done nothing but cause pain, upset, disappointment. Sometimes this can be around a job. Sometimes this can be a family type of situation that experiences loss. Yeah. But either way, we are going to the other side of the shore. We are finding some peace, because Whew. Okay, so it's clarified by the Four of Wands in the reverse position. So this would definitely indicate that there was definitely an upset within the home life. Now, for some of you, this could have indicated that you might have been having problems maintaining your home. Maybe some of you might have ran into some financial issues and were having a hard time making your, rent payment, your mortgage payment, whatever it may be. For some of you, this could indicate that you had to move. For some of you, this could be indicating that perhaps maybe your home was experiencing some issues that needed to be fixed. For some of you, this could indicate that a relationship was most definitely the cause of us wanting to leave perhaps our home and move away. That'll resonate with some of you. Now, every time I see this card, I always go off on a epic type of rant, but I don't think you guys need it near as much. Right now, it seems a bit negative, but let me tell you, Libra, this is gonna get good. This final outcome is amazing, so just hang in there. You guys have definitely gone through some tough times, but it's going to get better. It is going to get better. So every time I see this card, this is a card that you really need to take stock and appreciate all of the blessings that you have. You need to be grateful and thankful for what you have. No matter how big or how small, a lot of times we tend to take things for granted. Are you going to have food tonight? That's a blessing. Are you breathing? That's a blessing. Are you healthy? That's a blessing. I mean, I can keep going and going and going, Hey, you have internet. You're actually watching this reading. Do you know how many people cannot afford internet access to watch this? I mean, we tend to take things for granted. And we need to shift our focus, and instead of focusing on everything that we are lacking in our life and everything that's gone wrong and what we don't have but we need and why we feel screwed and backed into a corner, let's not focus on everything that is wrong and everything that is not right. Okay? We need to shift our frame of mind, okay, and our thought pattern. And we need to start focusing on all of those blessings that we do have. We tend to take them for granted on a daily basis because they're just there. And let me tell you, from a personal experience here over the last week for myself, life is very short. You don't know when it can be done. So, the people that you have around you and that you love, appreciate them. Know that they are a blessing in your life. You should feel grateful and thankful because at any moment someone can be taken from you. I experienced this, so unfortunately my daughter's childhood friend was murdered. Now, I've not shared that with anybody except for you guys. So yeah, it's a real wake-up call for me especially. But I'm always trying to look for the positive in things. I have moments of being negative and having that lack mentality as well. But we really got to keep our mind towards the positive and acknowledge and be thankful and grateful for everything that we do have. Because if we can shift ourselves to a attitude of gratitude, as I call it, the more that we focus on the good things and what we have that we're grateful and thankful for, then we can actually attract more things to be grateful and thankful for. And like I said, this final outcome is going to be great for you guys. So I know that things have been tough for you guys, but I just want you guys to definitely keep that in mind. If you start feeling like you're getting negative, you might be having negative, fearful, obsessive type of thoughts, do your best to shift your thoughts. Start focusing on what you have that you're grateful for. There's always things to be grateful for, and they tend to be the things that we tend to overlook the most. So let's just be positive, okay? Do your best. This can be, difficult at first, trying to change our thought pattern. It can be difficult, but let me just tell you this. For every negative thought that you have, a positive thought is 10 times stronger than one negative thought. So if we can just stay positive, we can cancel out all that negative. And the more that we stay positive and we align ourselves with positive and gratitude and thankfulness, then we will attract more things to be grateful and thankful for. Okay, moving on. Sorry, I just always like to go through that when I see that card, because so many of us tend to overlook those small things that are very, very important. And we should be feeling grateful and thankful because we really do have more than we realize. A lot of people tend to get pessimistic and think, I don't have anything. Well, yeah, you do, but you're just overlooking it. So, okay, moving on. So this would be your recent past. So here we have the Seven of Cups. So I always refer to this card as the emotional wish choice card. So with these choices, we have to watch out for illusion. Now, this was in your past, your recent past. So we always have to watch out for the illusion. All that glitters is not gold. Sometimes it's like looking at a book cover and you might think, gee, that's a beautiful book cover. I bet that's a good book. And then you get it and you're like, oh God, this book is horrible. It doesn't even keep attention for 5 minutes. What was I thinking? I shouldn't have bought this thing. It it's something like that. See, a lot of times people will be like, hey, oh wow, I want the perfect partner. Well, you might make that choice, and then all of a sudden you get this person, and then it's like, yeah, they are nothing like what I thought they were. This has actually went horribly wrong. Now, ultimately, we always want to go after spirit. Spirit is always the right choice to make, but, some of us will prefer to go after the material items. But to each his own. This can also be a card of having wishful thinking and also kind of being in a daydream type of state. Okay, so then it's clarified by the Nine of Swords, so it's definitely showing the loss that you went through. It's now in the recent past, and this shows that you're healing from the loss now. So yeah, there was definitely a loss that you went through. And clearly this was an emotional loss of some sort. So this could have been a relationship. This could have been a relationship that's romantic or platonic. Let me just put that out there, because not every Libra wants to be in a romantic relationship. So, with that said, this was definitely an emotional type of loss. For some of you, this could actually indicate that you might have lost someone through passing. And if that is the case, then the deepest condolences. I'm sorry for your loss. I can truly understand. Now, for most of you, this would, will most likely be a relationship. Again, it could be romantic or platonic, but for most, I feel that this is going to be more on the romantic side. Again, this can indicate the severing of ties in a relationship. This can also indicate that there could have been some unfaithfulness. This could have been on your part, or this could have been you. being the one who gets cheated on. So you could have either been cheated on, or perhaps maybe you might have considered doing the cheating. Or it could be simply just indicating that, you had a situation that ended up being severed, that came to an end, and it brought you much anxiety, maybe even some depression, definitely grief, maybe some sorrow, definitely some sleepless nights, possible nightmares. But just know that whatever we lost here, it was necessary for our personal growth, especially if this was a relationship. Okay, so this would be the present, the here, and the now energy. We have the Seven of Wands. So this is a card where it's like stiff competition. It's like where we're competing. We also tend to take a very defensive type of stance under this energy. So it's like we're just waiting. Like we are waiting for that ball to drop. We are waiting for somebody to come at us with one of these wands. Like, I'm prepared to defend myself and whatever I'm trying to achieve here. So this is a card of competition. So there could be something that you're competing for. This could be something in your personal life. This could be something in your business, work life. This could be something even in your home personal life. So, but sometimes there is a element of feeling like something or someone is an enemy under this type of energy. Yeah. But you got this. Okay, so it's clarified by Moon and Libra card. Two of Swords in reverse. So this definitely indicates that there was a decision that had been made. And maybe this decision is part of the competition that you feel you're in. Because this is always a card of stiff competition. This could be in business matters, personal matters. But it's definitely a card of where we feel like we are having to compete. And there can always be the element of feeling like something or someone is an enemy. But thankfully, you're holding your own. Okay, so this would be the near future. So we have the Knight of Cups. So this definitely looks like someone will be bringing an offer of love and romance, or this could be an offer to help you. Sometimes this can be about a lover. Sometimes this can indicate that a lover will soon be coming into your life. Sometimes this can be indicating that someone that wants to help you could be coming into your life, because not everybody wants to be in a relationship, and that's okay. Not every Libra sun, moon, and rising is exactly alike. So this is definitely indicating that, either, someone's definitely coming in. It's either for romance or it's to be encouraging and to be of help to you. So either way, this is very, very positive. This is good. Now, typically, the Knight of Cups is dreamy. Someone that is poetic. Someone that is maybe artistic. Musically inclined. The arts. Hospitable. Okay, so it is clarified by the Hanging Man in the reverse position. So this is about, we have gone through a huge change within. So an inner change. We are not who we used to be. And when we have the Hanged Man in the reversed position, this is indicating that this huge change has taken place within us. And we are completely different now. Through all of our experiences and everything that we've been through, we are not the same person that we were, say, even a few months ago. We are different now. But there is a tendency to hang on and cling to the past, to cling to our old persona, our old ways of being. And we tend to do this because we be fearful that if we truly show who we have become now, then maybe we just won't be accepted by the people that we love. Maybe we feel that they won't accept us, and we're fearful of that happening. But you know what? You have to be true to yourself. You can't hide who you are now and who you've become. If the people around you cannot accept who you are, then they don't deserve you, Libra. And it's just that simple. They should love you no matter what. And if they don't, then some of those people just need to kick rocks, you know? Bye-bye. You can find the door. So don't do yourself a disservice by trying to hang on to that old facade, you know? It's not who you are anymore. You need to be true to yourself, Libras. You know this change has occurred. You know that you're not the same person that you were. Leave that person in the past. Move forward. Move forward. You know, and for some of you, maybe perhaps when this potential new person comes in, maybe you might still be trying to cling to that old facade, that old persona. And I'm going to highly suggest that you don't. We don't want to start any type of, relationship, romantic or platonic, friendship, whatever, under false pretenses, We need to be clear. We need to be showing who we really are. Don't hide it, okay? Don't hide it. Don't worry about, well, they may not like me if they know how I am now or that I've changed this much. Don't worry about it, because if they don't like you as you are and who you are now, then they don't deserve you, okay? Now you can take that to the bank, because that is a fact. Anybody who cannot love you as you are, regardless of the changes, honestly, when I see the Hanging Man, this is a good change. This is a good change. This is a change for the better. Typically, this is a spiritual type of change where we're, giving into the spiritual side. We're wanting something better with more meaning, and we don't need to try to cling to that old persona anymore. Again, if they don't accept who you are, then they're not worth it. They're just not worth it. And I just don't want you guys to potentially end up in a relationship where there's not, full disclosure. You don't want somebody to know the false you, the old you, that's not you anymore. That would be doing yourself a disservice, and I don't want you guys doing that to yourself, because you guys deserve to be happy, and I want things to work out for you, and I want you to be true to yourselves. Only you can do this, okay? Only you can. At the end of the day, we all have free will to do whatever we like. Some of us, more than others, are knuckleheads, and we need to learn the hard way. So, do as you wish. I'm just advising to please be your true, authentic self as you are now. That change has happened. You need to embrace it. And if others don't worry about them. You deserve better. We don't need people in our life that can't accept us as we are and love us as we are. Some people, if we don't fit in their little box, then then we just aren't working for them anymore. And the way I look at it is they need to shove that little box up their own ass. So, excuse French, but you shouldn't have to shove yourself into a box. We don't always have to conform, just so that people will like us or just because we think that that's what they want. When actually, if you take that leap of faith, they might actually like the new you, the new changes that have occurred within you, but you're not going to know until you try. And the main reason why we don't try and give in and allow it to happen is because of fear. Drop that fear, Libra. Get rid of that fear, because it's not going to do us any good. And we can't go back. We can only go forwards or even sideways, but we can't go backwards. So the change has already happened. Accept it. I accept it. I want you to be true to you. I want you to be who you truly, authentically are. I love you guys as you are, regardless of the changes. And you need to have the other people in your life love you as well, regardless of the changes. You deserve the better, the best. So, if people can't do that, then you can find better. Okay, moving forward. Okay, so this would be your attitude. Okay. Definitely looks like you guys are pretty upset. Alright, so when we have the Emperor in the reverse position, the Emperor in reverse is fearing losing power and authority, especially when it comes to situations in their life and other people in their life. Sometimes when we have this card, some of us might be showing a more immature side, or we could be perhaps maybe acting a bit dictatorial, like we're a dictator. And this really all stems from a fear of losing the power and the control over certain people and situations. So that's really not so hot. We definitely need to do what we can to find our balance. You can't worry so much about losing that type of power over a situation or a particular person, or maybe even, many different things going on in your life. Sometimes it just shows us the worst side of our personality, but typically there's always a reason for why this comes out of our personality. And this is the reason. So we have the Tower card. So this is something very shocking, unexpected. This is kind of like an unexpected rude awakening. A lot of times when we have the Tower card, a certain situation begins to crumble. Something shocking happens. I mean, and it like literally comes out of left field, and it can blindside you sometimes. For some people, this is a good thing, but given the position, the attitude, and we have the Emperor in reverse, this definitely is showing why you guys are fearing losing that power and that control over a situation or a person. But here's the thing, Libra. When it comes to the Tower, we don't really have control. The only thing we can truly control is ourself. and our own reactions, okay? Now, you may not like this shocking event and what has happened, but this is about clearing karma. Because ultimately the tower does come in, we have this shocking rude awakening, and it does clear the slate. Now, it does tend to break a situation down, the structure of it, just like the lightning coming out of the sky. It's going to break off the top of that tower, you know. Some things need to be ended. A lot of times this card can help us so that we can remove ourselves out of a difficult situation in which we were stuck. So that'll resonate with a few of you. Now, sometimes we can rebuild the tower, but that takes a whole lot of work, and it can't be done by just one person. But some things are just fated, some things are just meant to be, and when we have two major arcana cards together like this, whatever this is that was shocking, it was fated, it was meant to be, okay? And what's the saying? It's not about what we go through, it's about how we react to it, and this definitely would show us reacting in not the best manner. So we need to find our balance again, Libra. We got to find our balance. And just know that if something was removed out of your life, say a particular friendship or, even a romantic relationship, maybe a marriage came to an end. For some, it could be a job loss. Just know that whatever is taken from us with the tower, it's really in our own good. It's to help us so that we can further our own personal growth and development. And whomever or whatever was taken from us may have been a bit of a block in regards to us being able to continue to grow. So the situations that come in with the tower, sometimes it can be an unexpected death for some. That's only going to resonate with just a couple of you. Now, that's something we have nothing we can do to prevent it. Absolutely nothing we can do. But the ultimate purpose is for us to become more spiritual. Why death death is the one thing we can all count on in this life, unfortunately. We all go through changes, but the one thing we can all count on at one point is death. And I know that sounds morbid, but it's just a fact of life for all of us. But when we personally lose people, this is to kind of push us to start looking more towards the spiritual side of things. Because I look at people, everybody has their own beliefs, and I'm certainly not trying to shove mine down anybody's throat. I'm just simply stating opinion. No one has to agree. So my personal opinion is our soul, we are energy. And energy can never truly die. It only transforms, okay? So some people may not believe in an afterlife, to each his own. But we are energy. And energy cannot be completely killed or destroyed. It just transforms. So for those of you who might have lost someone, yeah, they're gone from the physical world. But from a spiritual dimension, they are still right next to us. Because energy truly does not die. We just transform. Okay. Some agree, some disagree, and I'm not trying to shove that down anybody's throat. I just thought I'd share. Okay. I'm sharing a whole lot with you guys. Okay. I need to put a lid on it. Alright, so this is how other people will see you. Now, here we have the Two of Coins, so this would definitely indicate that you guys are definitely doing a bit of a juggling act, especially in regards to finances. Some of you could be juggling, quite a few jobs. Some of you could be trying to juggle, your job, your finances, maybe your home life, maybe your family life. There's a juggling act here. Sometimes we're juggling our finances. So sometimes we can hear some disappointing news come our way, but don't let this knock you off balance, okay? Just keep juggling. Just keep going, okay? Keep multitasking, whatever you're doing. Keep multitasking. Don't let this news cause you to lose your equilibrium, so to speak, okay? Because it's not going to be the type of news that's truly going to affect you in a major way. So you may hear some news, but don't give it much thought. Don't allow it to cause you to lose balance, okay? Keep that balance. Keep those coins up in the air juggling. Okay, so it's clarified by the Queen of Coins. So this could be someone in your life, male or female. This person could be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or they don't have to be. This could be the overall energy. It could be someone that has some similar type of traits, or this could simply be you taking on this energy. Now, the Queen of Coins, she is definitely focused on her finances and her material items. Now, she's a nurturer, and she has no problem when it comes to helping others and teaching others how to make and accumulate that wealth. She actually likes helping other people because she wants to actually be behind the scenes and watch the people that she helps grow and develop further. She really enjoys this. But ultimately, at the end of the day, this is a queen that is focused on building her finances. And so, to me, this definitely seems like people are looking at you like you are definitely financially focused. And you are definitely in a frame of mind where we are focused on making that money and prosperity. And we are definitely nurturing it. And for some of you, that could actually be a person that comes in or is already in your life that could be helping you financially or helping you by giving you financial advice. And we're still continuing to juggle. But again, if you hear any disappointing news, do not cause it. Don't allow it to knock you out of balance, okay? It's nothing to truly worry about. Okay, so this would be the hopes and fears position. So we have the strength card in reverse. So I'm automatically going to class this as a fear because strength in reverse is a fear-based card. This is where our fear has the upper hand. So the woman is now at the bottom of the card and the lion is at the top. The lion is representing our fear. So fear has the upper hand here. This is also where we become more forceful in trying to and prove our point to other people. But we really don't need to be forceful when we're trying to make our point. So yeah, this is definitely a fear because I don't see anybody wanting fear to be behind the driver, in the driver's seat behind the steering wheel. We don't want that. We don't want fear having the upper hand. I mean, I don't know anybody that does. Okay, so it is clarified by the Nine of Cups in reverse. So the Nine of Cups in reverse is definitely a card of where we are just sitting there hoping and wishing away. This is a card of wishful thinking. All we're doing is literally being in a wishful thinking state of mind, but yeah, we are putting absolutely no action behind it. And so, this is definitely a waste of energy. This is also a card of overindulgence within, say, alcohol, maybe even some prescription medication, maybe even some recreational type of drugs. But overall, this is a card of overindulging. It's also a card where we can end up gossiping, running our mouth, saying things we shouldn't. It's also a card of where we don't get what we wanted, what we wished for, and we've just kind of fallen into a wishful frame of mind where we're very wishful, but we're not doing anything. We're not putting any action behind it. So this is just a fear. I'm going to say fear and fear. Okay, so this is the final outcome. We have the Wheel of Fortune. So this definitely shows that Lady Luck has arrived. The luck has reversed and it is now in our favor. So it's like things are coming together a lot easier for us, okay? For some of you, this will be happening closer towards the end of it. For some of you, you could already be going through this, but for most of you, this will be taking place over the month of June. So again, when we see the Wheel of Fortune, this is something that is fated. This is luck turning in our favor. Things are coming together a lot easier for us. We're not having to work near as hard to make things happen. It's like a little bit of extra luck coming in to help us out. And then look at this. This is a thing of beauty. So it is clarified by the world. So this is definitely indicating us obtaining that self-actualization. This is indicating that we have learned our lessons, and because we have learned our lessons, we will be rewarded with karmic rewards. So now it just comes down to, what do you really want, Libras? What do you want? And so this is very positive because we go from not having self-actualization. We know that change has taken place, but, we're not letting everybody see it, But boom, now we accept ourselves and we're putting ourselves out there. And this is a thing of beauty. Karmic rewards flow into us. So we're getting what we want. So the question is, what is it that you desire, Libra? Because it can be yours. This is beautiful. Okay, so we already discussed the Moon card. I can definitely see where that's coming into play. So we got the Ace of Wands in the reverse position. So this is about us getting a new start, and perhaps maybe we've taken a wrong turn within this new start. Maybe we got this new start, and at the beginning we might have been very enthusiastic about it, and then it's kind of like the passion, the flame just kind of burns out. Like maybe we're not as enthusiastic or optimistic about it or as passionate about it as we were. But the upside is we can reignite that passion if we truly want to. Anytime I see an ace card that is in the reverse position, this automatically indicates to me that there is a blockage of some sort. So this definitely has to be a question, of what is blocking me, what is stopping me from progressing with this new start, what is getting in the way. Because sometimes we can just simply look at it and, tweak things a little bit, and boom, we could be moving forward and have this Ace of Wands to the upright position in no time. But, never fear, because it's clarified by the Ace of Wands in the upright position. So this is definitely screaming, you absolutely can reignite that passion, that flame. So maybe all you need to do is really step back, take an objective look. You know, what is blocking you? We step back and we're objective. A lot of times we're going to be able to pinpoint it immediately. Remove the blockage, and boom, we're moving forward with this new start. To me, this is always like the hand of God, seeing the Ace of Wands, and it is essentially like a hand, like a thumbs up. So it's like a thumbs up for especially looking at the final outcome. So again, what is it that you want with this new start? Because nothing is off limits for you guys. Okay, I do have your Love Oracle cards, and then I have these. This is called the Good Tarot. Now these cards, they are put in the context of positive affirmations. Now I know the tarot like the back of my hand. I've been doing it for over years. But to put it in the context of positive affirmations, that's, definitely different to me. So for this month, I'm definitely going to have to read from the book, which I hate doing, but it is what it is. Until I can get it memorized, I'm going to have to read from the book. But I just thought I'd bring this in for this month to see if you guys like it. It's a way to bring in some extra positive energy. And also, for some of you, you might like one of the affirmations. Some of you might decide to write it down and then say it every day or a few times a day. Help keep us focused, positive. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so the first one is transformation. Transformation, change. Nothing remains the same, and I need to accept that life evolves through cycles of birth, death, and rebirth. Now is a time of transition as things are changing from one form to another. I need to allow this to happen for the highest good. I am called to let go of the old so I can welcome the new. So the next one is the King of Fire. Spiritual influencer, creative, inspired leadership. When I am aligned with spirit, I am a powerful leader who inspires others. My mastery benefits others as I teach them directly at times and indirectly at others, modeling what they aspire to. How can I be confident in my own abilities and vision without becoming rigid or closed off to new ideas? And then the final one is Queen of Earth. Practical and grounded, trustworthy, earthy, resourceful, a gardener who tends to what has been planted. I am committed, down to earth, and clear about goals. I am honest as I work with others to keep it real and be true to what we are doing and the challenges before us. I use all resources wisely, whether they are finances, opportunities, or people willing to help me in my endeavors. So, see, that definitely puts things in positive affirmation, and it definitely brings some more positivity to the reading. So, if you guys like it, let me know. Okay, so this will be for the Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs that are single. Soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. So some of you who are single, you may be questioning yourself about a certain person. And yes, this is your soulmate. If you've been having that thought cross your mind about a particular person in your life, this is here to say, yep, they sure are. Romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So, yeah. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. Yes. Now, this is a card of us definitely needing to heal, especially from our childhood. Sometimes we can attract people to us that resemble our mother or our father. So a pattern can be created where we kind of attract the same type of person, even though it's a different person every time. It's like we keep attracting the same type of person. And so it's like a pattern that keeps going. And this card comes out to let you know that we really essentially need to go back, look back at our parents' marriage or the issues that they went through. These are the things that are actually playing out in our life and why we have a pattern going. So we really need to forgive our parents so that we can clear that energy from our own souls, and then we can move forward without continually attracting the similar type of person. Okay, so this will be for the Libra sun, moon, and rising signs that are married or in a relationship. Let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. And this is very true. So some of you feel like you're struggling. Some of you feel like you need to vent. You know, this is a card of definitely indicating that you do have supportive people around you. And don't be afraid to speak up. Because, you'd be walking around, helping everybody, mediating everybody else's, arguments and things they're going through and giving advice. But, you know, we go through things too. Sometimes we need advice. So don't be afraid to ask for support from someone that is close to you. Okay, release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. So this is definitely indicating that you need to truly let go of your ex, because either your significant other or your spouse that you're with now, they're not dumb. They know that it's almost like they know that your ex is still like somehow in your aura, so to speak. Like, you have to clear that energy. You've got to be done with that energy. If you're in another relationship, it's not fair to the person that you're in a relationship with if you're still focusing on a person that you were with but you're not with any longer. We've got to clear that energy out. We have got to let it go. Let go, let God, let go, let the universe, whatever you will. But we need to let it go so that we can clear our own energy. So that could be causing some problems for some of you guys within your relationships. Is it safe for you to love? Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. So some of you are definitely in a relationship, and perhaps maybe you're really wondering, should I even try? Because I've just been hurt so many times. I'm not sure I want to open heart. Well, we need to trust. We need to trust and we need to have faith. And we're here mostly to love and learn. This is kind of like the school for our soul, so to speak. That's how I look at Earth. So we definitely need to love and have those experiences. Yes, things happen, but sometimes we got to take a chance, because if we don't take a chance, we'll never know. And then we have worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. So some of you could literally be with someone right now, but maybe you're hoping for something better, hoping for someone better. Some of you could be with someone and maybe you're thinking about, I wonder if we'll ever get married. Well, this is definitely saying, it is worth waiting for, but you need to realize that divine timing is at work when it comes to your love life. And things will happen and unfold as they need to. So we just really need to put our trust and have faith, that it will happen when it is meant to. But just have faith and know that we are going to ultimately get what we want. But we need to trust and have faith, because we don't want to push. The more that we push, sometimes we can push the very thing we want away from us. We have to be patient. Okay, I hope this has helped you guys. I love you guys, and I will talk to you next month. I'm sending you blessings of healing, prosperity, and love.